And on that note, we are ready to get things started. 100 Thieves versus eUnited with our casters, Ben and Chance.
Thank you so much, Katie. So excited for this game to finally get underway. And what a way to start off day 2 here at CWL London. A fantastic game, but obviously just to touch a little bit on that video piece there, we saw Clay and Simp obviously talking and sitting down. Simp says, yeah, I feel there is a little bit of pressure on me. I have to perform well. I mean, he's done that after day 1.
He's been insane. He has like the #1 AKD. He's topping the chart. Like all the talk has been like, you know, the damage leaderboard, 100 Thieves, everybody's up there. But when it comes down to just the pure stats across the board, he's been that guy. And it's only one day, but since he's come into the Pro League, he's had like the Priesta effect for his team. Like Priesta joins 100 Thieves, Miracle, turn everything around. They start beating better across the board every game mode. Simp has done the exact same thing for United.
Just quickly to glance here at how the series is going to lay out. Hacienda Hardpoint, Hacienda Search and Destroy, and a Gridlock Control the first 3. If we go further, Gridlock Hardpoint and an Arsenal Search and Destroy game 5. Quick glance at those maps, Chance. Anything stand out to you?
Well, okay, so the trend has been for 100 Thieves that, I know the desk was calling them the best hardpoint team. They're supposed to win both of these hardpoints, and that's the case. If eUnited could come out swinging and they take the first one, this series, they just have a massive advantage, but it's kind of like the Simp effect. Like these teams have played 3 times at the year, once at Vegas, once in the Pro League, and then of course once at the last event. But 100 Thieves has been getting better and better at hardpoint, closing that gap and passing it, but we haven't seen them play it with Simp yet, so I'm expecting great things for both teams.
Well, map #1 underway. As we said, the Hardpoint, Hacienda, eUnited, 100 Thieves, your winners bracket round #1. And we're going to kick things off on board with Octane, trying to control top corridors, only able to find 1 over to Enable's POV. And, well, if you're a 100 Thieves fan, he started off a little bit better than you did yesterday.
Well, I mean, you know, the first kill out of the way, now it's going to be just complete on fire. But of course, he's always what the auto-aim tracker, best auto-aim tracker in the league, always going to be baiting for his teammates, and he absolutely knows his role on the team as well. Like with the guys that he's got behind him, he needs to be the bait.
But that's the interesting story when you talk about eUnited versus 100 Thieves, right? Because you look at the SMGs on eUnited and you compare them to that of 100 Thieves, and you think, all right, well, pretty big advantage there. But then you take the opposite. You talk about the ARs, you think, oh well, yes, okay, RCs at the start of the year was fantastic, but you haven't really seen that same form since then. So you kind of give the AR advantage to 100 Thieves.
And so you apply that on a map like Hacienda, which is more likely to take over your ICR player or your SOG. Well, honestly, it's pretty hill dependent. You go over towards Lambo, you want your ARs posted up, but if the SOGs right now for eUnited have just pushed out every single lane, well, there's nothing for Octane to really do. He's trying to be a fish, is able to find Clayster inside the hill though. Well, it's RCD is able to find 100 Thieves though. They get the break.
Yep, Slasher inside the hill. The score looks as if we're going to have a bit of a change at the lead. 100 Thieves take over, 25-23. Still, of course, very low scoring. 30 seconds left here on the second hill. Slasher still inside, has a support Priesta close to his right. United going to have one last attempt at trying to break through here. Couple players dropping down low, but now they push through the front door. 100 Thieves ready and waiting. They'll hold the final 15.
And it's just perfectly clean. Just the clean 4 down. No one's going to fall. Now they can rotate with all the time in the world, pushing over towards next. And, well, Kenny's going to be up top, waiting for his teammates to flank around. Enable has gone for full flanks before. Simp's up top is just going to get straight up traded. No one's going to be trading kills right now for eUnited. Again, 100 Thieves flawlessly on the rotation, gets every single kill. Now you got Slasher on a 4 spree, 155 off some streaks, and honestly, you got time. Bait out your couple points. You can toss away an extra 10 seconds just to get the score streaks.
He's so important. There's the first kill, 30 more points, all he needs. Waiting for teammate support. They have the spawn. Doesn't need to worry about the flank. Now it can just come down to as simple as pick up the hill time. Nade comes through. Slasher does well, staying alive. Hill contested. And again, can bait out those teammates. And the perfect bait right in front of him. In-flight Enable. Slasher's going to be weak, and that's a big, big win from Clay.
I bet that's a situation where you feel like you haven't done enough on the map for too long. You're just waiting for such a long time, and eUnited just getting that time on board so you can make you slide out. Well, no score streaks, but you still have a 30-point lead for your team. Inside the hill, though, it looks like RCD's, well, eventually just gets picked up. Priesta able to get those final 2, and it just, again, 100 Thieves extending that lead.
So far, so good. Keep your eye on the minimap, though. That rotation coming through. Simp's going to be first to the party for eUnited as they try and chip away at the early 100 Thieves lead. Not a big one. 56-38. Simp with a lot to do. Only able to find 1. It was Enable that fell. The Slasher responds with 2. Kenny with another. Almost a double for him as well. And if I'm honest, Chance, that just looked far too easy for 100 Thieves.
It's repeatedly on every single hill. They have just taken their time, go for the break, and again, eUnited is struggling just to trade these kills out, so the pressure isn't even really on the Thieves just yet. Slasher inside the hill, though, with BZ. Finally, the SOG's doing a little bit of damage from the side of eUnited. Of course, it comes down to just scrappiness inside the hill, and well, it is one of those hills where the Sogs come out on top. It's eBeezy able to find 2. Simp gets 2 of his own. And well, he might just be able to get more. He finds 2, plus the team kill that happened. Finally, some heat.
And now there could be a turn in the tide because keep your eye on Simp's score streak development, 275 points away. All he needs. 5 seconds of scrap time goes to eUnited. After the first rotation of hills, though, they are down. Admittedly, not a lot. As Simp tries to get away, he will fall. But this seems like the perfect time now to throw it over to Astro Gaming listening with eUnited.
Open, one close. Open.
Rock. He's close.
Austin,
Nice, that's 5. I'm coming to Rock.
Look at my own icon.
Preem open cross. I'm going to be.
Yo, what's Lambo heady?
Hold Rock together. They're gonna do shit together. Make
Lamp,
sure
Rock.
Don't die alone.
Yo, what's Rock?
Flank me patio. Ian.
Ian, watch out, Dan. I got
Rock on me.
Open, two open.
Rock.
Austin Rock.
Open.
Nice, Austin Rock.
Get time, bump. Get time. I'll bump.
Yeah, spawn layout, spawn world, they're spawning Bowhouse. Spawning Bowhouse.
Open or bottom of
Tiger.
Tiger. Rotate.
Oh, one's already in Mansion
We got fucked by
stairs.
this last
Mansion
time.
stairs.
They have Tempest, they have War, they have Crash.
Rock me, water.
They have everything.
Spawn back, Bowhouse.
Two in New York.
Sam's
Alright,
front.
take your time right here.
We have
Sam is front somewhere.
Gotta make sure we're on our rotation game, yo. I'm
what's
going
your-
around.
see,
I gotta go
front
block
of me.
well. I'm going around.
Try to stay down.
Around.
Fuck, dude.
I come.
There's two.
He's dead. Watch out front.
Yeah.
I'll go Octane.
They crash.
Hey, Octane and water?
Yeah.
Ed?
Jump. We have first ones. We're good.
United slowly but surely chipping away at that lead. They've done well, but again, it's this rotation over towards P2, which 100 Thieves have just been so good at. As Slasher hits a cheeky little flank, there's 2. 5 players from United drop 100 Thieves in control.
And it is just water control on the Lamborghini hill that has just been brutal for eUnited to try and deal with. Even on the rotation, Octane just jumps up from water, picks up 2. We have seen situations like that time and time again, just on this specific map. But either way, Lamborghini, Slasher's getting hot, Kenny's getting a little bit hot as well. This is where the ARs thrive on this hill, and this is 100 Thieves getting every last second on Lambo.
You just have to be careful here. You're United. You don't want to feed any streaks whatsoever. The Tempest is out. Slasher will find a free kill there onto eBeezy. Help towards his score streak progression. 300 points, all he needs. Has a War Machine as well if he wants to try and put that to good use. It's been a great game from him so far. 19 and 11 is current stat line.
And then keep in mind, on the last rotation from this hill's 100 Thieves literally just took their time to walk around back. They get the spawns, they break in the hill. Enable's already here. Doesn't hit a bullet, but his teammates still able to secure the back spawns, and Slasher's going on the bench. Wins a gunfight off the well heady as well, and this is where the pressure is. eUnited got to worry about both directions. The pinch is here. Priest is trying to wait for his teammates behind him. Trades going back and forth. eUnited may be able to hold on, but Enable's back in the action inside the hill. Shooting players in the back, and 100 Thieves again get the break.
And it was the exact same hill. Slasher in the exact same situation, just a different position, not able to get those streaks. So United again survive, but it's back-to-back hills from 100 Thieves. Their transition from Lambo defenses has been so good throughout this map. That's why, once again, they've managed to build themselves about a 70-point lead, and it could be more if they pick up the scrap time, but now it's Octane's turn. He's close to streaks, but Prestini could be the player to try and shut him down. He's the other side of the fence. The Tempest is out. Octane does get the beat down onto Prestini. There's the lightning strike earned. This could get scary now for United.
With or without the lightning strike is scary, but it makes things worse right away. Calls it in. It's going to be able to find at least one. If not, the War Machine should. And finally, it only takes 4 shots, but eBeezy's going to fall. This is another rotation where it seems like United, they're there 20 seconds in advance, and it doesn't matter at the moment. Simp, though, able to find 2.
And Simp's doing everything he can. 21 and 17, leading the charge for eUnited. eBeezy, of course, does have his grab slam to try and put to some good uses. He's going to find himself in a bit of a 1v2. Doesn't necessarily need to take that fight just yet, but everyone in the hill for eUnited currently dropping like dominoes. 100 Thieves just push straight in. They out-trade as 2 kills come through there. Slasher managing to get the second. It's RC's that drops, and bear in mind, he still has himself a Hellstorm to put to good use here. This game very well could be over.
It's just the ARs. He got Octane double positive with streaks. He got Slasher 23 and 16. He got streaks at some point. Priesta having a phenomenal game in as well. And eUnited, at least in Hardpoint, just don't have an answer. Still, though, maybe only down by 60. They're definitely thinking about a comeback in the middle hill. They have seen some success.
And this is what they did going into the second rotation. They reduced that massive 100 Thieves lead, but they messed up on the rotation. We were in the listening when you heard Clay say, all right, everyone just take a little bit more time now. Let's make sure we win the gunfights on rotation. They didn't. They weren't able to do so. Now it's eBeezy's turn. 25 points away from streaks. That could really turn the tide here for eUnited. Maybe start a bit of a comeback. He is going to earn the lightning. Now can you do one more? 25 points, all you need. Slasher will go down. eUnited down, but by no means out.
The help there was class. He's just trying to get bullets in the player, let his teammates clean up the work. And well, right now, 100 Thieves spawning on the wrong side of the map. And eUnited, they do have all the cuts. They're trying to flood their way through a hallway, but there's nowhere for them to go. Pristinito, the pressure's from Mock. 3 bodies there from 100 Thieves. They're able to break through to the hill. Now it's about getting the Lambo.
And I was about to say, Abizi has to use a streak here. This rotation is so important. He gets 2. Arcades with 1. eUnited, for the first time this game, have a little bit of control over Lambo, but it's been the water side that they've struggled with so much, and it's Priesta down there. He will find 1. The assist comes through. eUnited, they rotate early, they get control, but they still get broken. And it's just too simple, Chance. It's just too simple.
Water has been such a huge issue for them, but Abizi has not. One team gets the water, the other gets the sky. And well, eUnited, they're gonna be going for the flood. You get the Sogs inside, well, Priest is gonna be there for the double kill on his team.
It's a double kill. Teammates go down. eUnited have been blessed. A potential comeback in the cards, but bear in mind, Octane has held on to his second streak. He still has that Hellstorm to use. eUnited need to pick up all of this time as Arcees finds himself a double. Slasher there to trade him out. The sports are just chaotic. Now it's going to come down to who's going to rotate first. The score, 204, 189. eUnited still in the hill. They are fighting for the final 10 seconds, but you can already see on the other side of the map, Chance, Priesta, he's ready and waiting for 100 Thieves.
You got Specialists coming on board. Octane close to his. Slasher an inch away from the War Machine, and they still have that Hellstorm. And well, Octane might not even use it to break the hill because he's got Priesta, but Clay inside has the fall. Now Octane, well, he needs to be patient. He needs to wait for his teammates to come, call on the Hellstorm, see what kind of damage you can do.
Should be able to at least find 1. Clay has somehow survived. They know he's there. Arcees wins the gunfight. Priesta goes down to 1 shot. It's a scrappy fight, but it's a fight which Arcees comes to the rescue. Wearing a cape to the gunfight. 211, 209. Hill contested, 30 seconds left, and Arcees is finally starting to heat up a little bit now. Hill still contested as players from eUnited just desperately trying to get there. Simple connect with 1 with a nade. Finally, a little bit of control comes through, but almost as soon as it gets controlled by 100 Thieves, in flies Clay. Double kill for him. Abizi there to assist. eUnited will break, but again, a foot race on the rotation.
And it's worth pointing out, they do have Flak Jacket on right now, at least a handful of players for eUnited, because we know Slasher has that War Machine. Octane with the Tempest. It might come down to a specialist battle because Abizi sitting on the grab slam as well. Who can make the bigger play on this final rock kill? Well, eUnited's there first. They got pressure in the hallways. The ARs, kills going the way of EU. And well, they're going to stabilize. Now 100 Thieves all from one side.
And this is so smart. 100 Thieves recognize we really only have time for 1 good team push, but here's the playmaker. It could be Abizi. Decides not to pull the trigger on the grab slam yet. 233, 219, but the Tempest is out. A team kill does come through, but Octane now with the game in his hands. Slasher goes for the pinch. eUnited need a few more points, but 100 Thieves break in. More streaks earned for Octane, and now you have to use the grab slam effectively here if you're Abizi. 100 Thieves about to tie up the game.
And 100 Thieves can win it here, so the pressure really is on. There is a pinch coming in from Lamborghini.
Oh, no.
But you got to get near the hill. You got to get the grab flop as well. There is
it
not.
is.
The grab slam gets 2, but Octane
Abizi!
12 seconds away, and the game is eUnited's. Enable, though, with the Sog inside the hill.
Somehow he's still
able to get
alive.
one.
Arcees didn't see him. Enable saves the game for 100 Thieves barely. But now again, the rotation needs to come through. More team kills from Octane. 241, 234. It's 100 Thieves in the hill first, and it's Octane. Of course, it's Octane at 32 and 20, looking to try and put this game to rest. 100 Thieves, the kill feed all red. Finally, Simp able to find 1, but is it going to be enough? Is there even going to be a contest? Finally, the contest comes through, but now Kenny with the double, and 100 Thieves will take map 1. But boy, oh boy, did they have to work for that.
A tough game for eUnited in the end because they were down by a lot. And they put in some effort to make things close, but eventually 100 Thieves able to prevail, a little bit too strong. And it would have been a brutal pill for 100 Thieves to have to swallow, because think about the advantage that they threw away. It comes down to a Lamborghini hill that they were so good on the first 2 times around, and then it comes down to, well, you get triple killed by a lightning strike, and then you double kill with the grab slam. And I'll tell you, on that rock kill, when Octane killed his teammate to open up that break, I got incredibly nervous for him, but then he picked up about 4 more of the enemy and got some streaks, and panned out a little bit better after that.
And you feel like eUnited are going to be kicking themselves after that. When they go back and watch that, the first 2 rotations, how much time they gave up at Lambeau. if they just split it 50-50, even a 20-40, they would have potentially have taken map number 1. And obviously you heard the devs talk about it, how important those hardpoints are going to be this series.
And then it was actually defensive hill as well. It was literally Lamborghini defenses twice in a row. eUnited gets the full setup. Plenty of time in advance. They have exactly what they want. All 5 members there, and 100 Thieves just walked through them and broke with ease. It was literally just the first hill was the best thing. Saving grace for eUnited, and then a couple specialists over towards Rock. Simp using that war machine. But either way, if you're in the eUnited camp, it was expected that you lose the hardpoint, right? You were 2-4, I think, yesterday. Hardpoint has not been great, but your bread and butter has been that search and destroy. Of course, when these two teams have played in the 3 series that they've had 3 round 11s and 1 round 10. It is always as competitive as it can be,
right?
But the Simp factor hasn't been a part of the equation just yet, and Simp, he's an S&D star. He has been for years. That's especially what he brings to the table.
Yeah, he's a fantastic talent. I mean, we can take a look now at the final moments of that hardpoint. Again, it got very, very chaotic. I mean, you talk about that big fight that happened at Lambo, the rotation towards fences. BZ gets the double, and you're thinking, all right, this could be it. Octane's forced to use the lightning. If he somehow managed to get that shot punch there, this was the moment. Enable with the double. United wouldn't have been able to win there, but they would have given themselves a big, big advantage.
Yeah, Enable really did save the game, honestly. Just those extra couple few, because it changes the way you play over towards the first, but once the hill pops again, you got the ARs inside. It seems like every single kill was just going their way, and well, Enable shooting someone in the back, that means his teammate was buying him time, and just everything goes right. And once you get that first, even half wave of kills, everyone's got to flood in from one angle, and it just makes it easy for 100 Thieves towards the end, but definitely a nerve-wracking game.
Unbelievably nerve-wracking game as Crowder takes the stage, coach of 100 Thieves, just giving some last-minute words of wisdom as we head over towards that game 2 search and destroy. And obviously, Chance, you brought up that we've seen this matchup a couple of times, admittedly not with Simp in the equation for eUnited, but historically, I feel like it's always been good games.
It's always been down to the wire again. You have 3 round 11s, and the only one that wasn't was a round number 10. You expect at least in search and destroy to things be interesting, but another battle that we might see, well, maybe not as much on Hacienda, but as good as Simp has been with the sniper, we know Octane's there as well, but this is the factor we are talking about. It is not even close. Anyone below him, Simp is a god among men right now in search and destroy. When you're that far above guys like Dashy and Brack, you are feeling very good about yourself.
You're doing something right, that's for sure. 4 maps, it's even across the top 3. General as well makes an appearance in that leaderboard at top 5. But one thing's for sure, that is one very talented search and destroy player. He made it look very easy on day 1, but I'm curious to see how he evolves through day 2. And that's where I think the experience from Clay will come through. Obviously, you heard Clay again at the start of the day in that amazing video piece say, you know, when it comes to in the game, there's really not much for me to do. It's more outside the game. But I feel like it's keeping his head cool, going into different days throughout the tournament, growing into that tournament. Because if you can start that like that and improve through Saturday and Sunday, that's a potential to just win a championship just right there.
And he needs to get better, though, for this series, because I think as bad as the Hacienda was for Hardpoint of what we expected to happen, it's going to be worse on Gridlock, even more in 100 Thieves' favor. So you want to talk about a must-win map right now for eUnited. If they don't pull it off, the reverse sweep seems like it'll be nearly impossible. So we need big plays, not just out of Simp, out of the whole team.
Well, they definitely look at Simp to really try and make the plays off the start, and seems fitting. We'll have a quick glance at the opening strategy there for him. Already a first blood comes through, though. It's Kenny. That shuts down a BZ, so advantage 100 Thieves. Only took about 10-15 seconds before the advantage came through. Flasher has been spotted. Bomb already down. Clay drops. It's a 5v3.
Yeah, Octane just not going to slow down with the sniper at all. Finding the pick, and well, water can just be his. He knows exactly what information he's going to find down under. And well, now he's got Slasher up top. Persini is able to find one and make things close, but of course they do have bomb site control. eUnited has backed all the way off the point, so at some point they're going to have to flood back in, but you deal with the Sogs. Well, you got a 2v2. Octane hopped the bomb with Simp, makes the play, picks up 2, and he gets the 3rd as well. A 3v5. Someone has to make the big play. Simp says, I will take a 3-piece. Thank you very much.
And it's exactly like Clay, just disbelief himself, just shaking his head. That's why we picked you up, baby. That right there. A heroic play, but we'll see the best play this round coming in from Prestini as he gives a little bit of assistance. You see the way he affects the fight, at least. The EKAs come through him, and he hops up. He has 3 plays from 100 Thieves up. Manages to shut down 1 more. Stays alive, plays his life. A round which eUnited looked as if they were completely down and out from. A great 3 versus 5 clutch.
It's a big one to get for momentum's sake as well, because you have a deflating hardpoint loss. You don't want to spiral that into the immediate first round. So nice little bounce back, but you got to get more. 100 Thieves on the attack. A lot of bodies coming over towards A. It's going to be trades. RC's able to find the first blood. Simp has got players directly next to him on the other side of fences, and well, his teammate that was next to him also fell. But you got trades on trades, but the 3v2 because of the first blood advantage eUnited. That's some weak players. A Glacier just shoots in the side.
It's a great collapse from eUnited. They just recognize, well, last few players are over towards fences. They pinch, and they easily manage to out-trade and out-flood 100 Thieves. 2 great rounds back-to-back from eUnited. Really starting to get that momentum now in this search and destroy. The 2-0 lead. Can they spiral it into a potential map win, though? That is going to be the most important thing.
And that really is just a very good hard counter, right? Send all 4
yeah.
bodies over towards A, send the last guy to flank through mid, they get the timing right, and of course you got to talk about the prep work that the coaches have been putting in as well. So obviously Vicento for eUnited trying to do even extra for the team, try to bump them up just an extra notch, but of course Crowder on the other side, formidable coaching opponent.
I mean, you're looking at
as good as it gets.
World champ right there.
Yes.
Phenomenal coach, that's for sure. As the round 3 starts to develop, Octane with a sniper in hand can be lethal. I've found out the hard way myself in many league play games. But first blood comes through. It's Prestini trying to find the bomb that drops. Again, 100 Thieves now with an advantage in the round.
Yeah, they were really just playing hope search right there, hoping they could get the bomb down before someone peeks, but they are going to fall. But you got the flank coming in, and Able can find one. RC's can't find a thing. Player down low trying to stay alive, and he is able to do so just barely. Of course, that means a 2v3. RC's going to fall. Clay's getting overwhelmed. Shot in the back, shot in the front, the side, everything. And that was wishful thinking from EU.
It was a good read, but you really need RCD's top office to find at least one of those players. If
Yeah.
he finds one of those kills, maybe that round becomes a little bit more manageable. You expect to see him pick up those kills, but just a bit of a slow start here to day 2, CWL London. 100 Thieves do find their first round, though, so it's by no means going to be a blowout.
And it does suck as well, because Prestini looked like he was as close as you could be, probably to getting that bomb down, so must have missed
So
it
close.
just by a millimeter. And if he gets it down, a 4v5 isn't great to have, but a much more feasible situation. Because we saw him touch a 3v5.
Yeah, I was going to say, they clutched a 3v5 round number 1, so I guess a 4v5 is easy at that point. As it stands, a quick glance at the scoreboard. Priest still looking for his first kill. Currently sat at 0-3, but we'll kickstart the round off with Enable. As he has really no action. It's going to be 100 Thieves, though. But will find the opening picks, and oh, you wanted Priest to find a kill. He gets that, and an assist to his name. 5v2 this round, surely now for 100 Thieves.
That is just perfect teamwork coming in. Every single gunfight they took
so
with
easy.
at least 2 players on board. They had 3 bodies working their way through that mid door, and just again, every gunfight. If you know you're the player that's getting shot at, you can just duck away, heal, let your teammate do the work, so you bait and switch multiple times. And then Kenny, of course, just getting even more when he's over on top of the bomb, watching his teammate plant. But a phenomenal round that Enable ends up being the cherry on top.
There's a quick glance at the best play again from Kenny. Some nice shots as 100 Thieves tie things up. 2 rounds apiece. What was it you said the stat was for these 2 in Search and Destroy? 3 round 11s and a round 10?
Yep.
So you know, more than likely in for a close Search and Destroy.
This is just another hard counter in the opposite direction. Every single player on the map. Let's have a 5v5 fight over around the A bomb. Trades going back and forth, and of course, Octane basically says that I want one lane to be mine. It's going to be the outer Prestini. We'll see him in the next round, and RC's is potentially going to dance with the devil, but Simp is thinking about going on the flank, but while he's doing that, his teammates are falling.
And these last couple of rounds, 100 Thieves have just dominated. Really haven't been all that close as Simp was trying to set up a play, but may have to be forced to reposition. 2v4, difficult spot to be in. Let's potentially see a clutch, but it's very rare in these situations. The healing and trading is so powerful in Search and Destroy. A quick glance over towards 100 Thieves side. You see Octane ready and waiting. They know that bomb is down. They don't have to really worry too much about it. More shots go down. Time is ticking. 30 seconds. Octane goes back to the sniper rifle. Doesn't matter though. Play drops. 1v4. And for Simp, he's going to have to scurry away.
And the setup there from 100 Thieves, too perfect. Keep in mind, Enable on a 7 spree. has some score streaks. So that just came out of nowhere, but if Enable's doing this well in search, you are feeling great about the 100 Thieves team, but the setup towards the end was just perfect. After you get the pick with a sniper and you get the bomb down over by fences, you just shoulder peek everything. Just don't give an option to let him through, and Kenny eventually gets that final kill on Semp as well. That is quite a few rounds in a row now for 100 Thieves.
3.
All 3.
Yeah, they're really getting a lot of momentum, and as you so rightfully mentioned, Enable with those streaks too could make life a little bit more difficult here as the snipe they managed to hit to Prestini earlier on in the round. Need to see it once again. As I mentioned, a phenomenal talent with a sniper rifle in his hands, but it is 100 Thieves, 3 rounds in a row, bringing themselves back into this search and destroy. Momentum on their side, and not only did you have to worry about Enable streaks, Kenny getting close as well, 225 all he needs.
And this is basically, you can't afford to let the bomb get planted unless you kill Enable off the map, and again, maybe Kenny as well.
But the problem is you can use the streaks you already have to maybe earn
Clear
more
out the
streaks.
bomb site. Well, yeah, there's a lot of 100 Thieves can do right now. Things are going well for him. There's a player by himself on Rocky. Imagine a free kill at some point. You can't let the bomb get down, but if you only got 2 bodies near a site, eventually you get overwhelmed. But Abizi able to find one to make the odds at least a little bit closer. But 100 Thieves, they're just body stacking together, playing as a team, don't want anyone to get picked off for free.
3v4. Simp with some information, but he's been spotted. Abizi will manage to make it a 3v3. RC's as well with a pick. Now all of a sudden, it's a 2v2. 100 Thieves, though, they know exactly where eUnited are. You still have the 2 streaks to use if you really need to. But now you're going to see him as Simp picks up Enable. Simp goes down. 1v1, 25 seconds on the clock. Pre-step for 100 Thieves, RC's for eUnited. I think RC's has spotted him. Should easily pick up this kill, does. A little worried after maybe a missed shot or two. But RC's all last year, you put him in those clutch situations for eUnited. He managed to do it continuously in search. And he manages to clutch out that 1v1 as well.
In 100 Thieves, trying as hard as they were to play together, they split up just enough that they could get picked off. Because you had, what, like 3 players up top office, but then one just flies out the window. He gets cleaned up from a guy that was underneath office, essentially, and they're surrounding the bush. And it was essentially the perfect, not even a retake, but the perfect swarm for eUnited, just to find pick after pick. But of course, all said and done, the score might be tied, but Enable still sitting on score streaks, and of course they are giving up both sites, and I assume that means once they have no information, you might at least ping the Lightning, but
I'm curious to
might
see
be
if
going
that's
down.
what Enable does. It could be the most important part, and well, judging by United, yep.
That's ping.
It was a ping, and he actually calls it in. We'll find one that was Simp. Simp was sniping in this round, so you won't have anyone to try and counter Octane, who, as you can see, is trying to cover, and the man just doesn't miss. Just doesn't, it's not fair.
When he does miss, he misses on purpose. He got a 4v2. RCD is able to make the odds a little bit closer. We've seen a lot of rounds where it's a tough spot, and eUnited finds a way, picking players off one by one. The problem for them is, obviously, Octane is very aware that bomb is down on site, but with only 2 players to watch over, 3 different lanes to come through. So 100 Thieves has to play at least a little bit split until they get information. Well, Octane's going to be the one to get it.
This comes down to whether Octane's going to hit this shot. He's going to go for it. Oh, a swing and a miss, and now all of a sudden it gives license for eUnited to try and fly forward. Unfortunately for BZ, he spotted both. Leaves Arcides with the ICR, a tough spot to be in. To be honest, with 10 seconds left, he may try and just play for those streaks. He's close, 300 all he needs. What's the first? A great read of Priest's movement. 2 seconds, just stay alive. And he will keep his score streak progression. But another round where 100 Thieves had the number advantage, United fight back, but this time just couldn't close it out.
And I would have to imagine United knew that the streaks were there, but they just wanted to get the bomb down before it got called in. I think they just tried to go for the commit, sort of like how they went for the commit over towards B in like the second round. They were just hoping the bomb would get planted, that way they could play even without the numbers. But of course, Enable able to find it with the lightning strike, and well, 100 Thieves even saw the setup they had. We'll stack mid-map. The only place they can go is mid-map, and if we lock that down, the streaks will be effective, and well, that's what they're there for.
Advantage 100 Thieves as we head into round 8, 4-3. Still Enable with a Hellstorm at his disposal. Arcedes again close to streaks of his own. 300 points, all he needs. 20 seconds gone in the round, still waiting for the first blood. Slasher may have it right in front of his eyes, but it's Abizi that wins the fight. United for what feels like the first time in quite some time with the one-man advantage. It's Octane again, outside at fences, just trying to cause so many problems for eUnited with that sniper rifle.
Of course, the outer lane, if he wants it, it is his. That gives Priest a clearance to move forward. Arcides, though, with the L trigger, finds one. Kenny trying to make things even, and well, now he's just going for some crazy shots. But while he's doing that, Clayster able to find two. eUnited with the round.
I will say that last snipe, though, yes, obviously 100 Thieves don't win the round, but he was able to isolate Arcides and find the pick. No streaks for Arcides, and Arcides did the right thing. He was thinking, all right, I'm 100 away, bomb's down right in front of me, let me just quickly grab it, I'll plant, and we'll win the round. And I'll get streaks.
And of course, now with eUnited back on offense, they got to be fearful. What kind of strategy can you even attempt to do? Because 100 Thieves last time on defense, they just stacked mid and then eventually just pinged the lightning strike, called it in. Well, they still have the Hellstorm. They can do something similar. 100 Thieves setup is the same. This time, eUnited's going to try to meet him. ICR's up top. Slasher gets the win. Of course, though, the Maddox for Kenny. Well, he's got Slasher for the help. The FMJ. The ARs are overwhelming for 100 Thieves. And it gives them the 4v2.
And as soon as your first player dies there, you're essentially leaving your teammate who pushes out that right-hand side high and dry, and nothing he's going to be able to do. There's two ICRs staring down at him. So you lose two men straight off the rip. It's a 4v2, advantage 100 Thieves. And again, Simp, Arcides, left alive. It would be a miraculous round win. You never know. We've seen crazier things, Chance.
100 Thieves have already had a man advantage that they've a couple that they've tossed away. But they are doing a very good job of trying to play together. They just have to make sure they stay to it the entire time. Now you got the swarm up top, and you play so close that RC's basically forced a team kill with the enemy over top. And another round win for 100 Thieves. And the threat of the score streaks that Enable was getting is incredibly helpful for them in these rounds, and he still is sitting on it.
He's done well to hold it as long as he has. And this is exactly what I mean. As soon as Slasher wins that first fight, you're left high and dry on that corridor. Easy double kill for his standards. And one more round for 100 Thieves to go 2-0 up. Once again, this one goes pretty far. Round 10 will we be graced with another round 11 between eUnited and 100 Thieves. For 100 Thieves, of course, on the attack. Octane is playing for at least a little bit of information. They get the information if they wanted to. They could maybe just back away here, drop that Hellstorm down, see if they can get the first blood. That's exactly what Enable's going to do. Needs to be careful not to team kill, though. In fact, finds nothing. The kills, though, they all come for 100 Thieves. Another 4 versus 1. It doesn't even matter. Round is over. Octane puts an exclamation mark point on the round with a nice little snipe to close things out. 100 Thieves, 2-0 up in the series.
And outside of a couple clutches that eUnited was able to pull off, pretty much every single round was heftily in 100 Thieves' favor. Enable getting those score streaks out early is just huge. That just changes the way you have to play on a map like Hacienda, and eUnited could not find an answer. And I'll tell you, Ben, we did say it seems like it might have been a must-win map for eUnited, because reverse sweeping 100 Thieves seems like one of those things that's going to be close to impossible.
Very, very tough, that's for sure. Of course, you think about the rest of that series now, you head over to a Control, and that's one of, when you think of 100 Thieves, you tend to think of Control as one of their stronger game modes. The Hardpoint, you heard the devs talk about how difficult it's going to be to beat 100 Thieves in a Hardpoint, and then, of course, that Search and Destroy Game 5. It's a very, very tall task, a big mountain to climb now if you're eUnited. You have the ability, they have the players to do it, Chance, but you just feel like this 100 Thieves should be able to close out.
And it's maps that 100 Thieves is going to be happy with as well, even if you want to call the gridlock a bit of a split, because they actually have traded 3-0s with each other, but the Hardpoint, again, that just seems like a daunting task. And it's not like 100 Thieves is too shabby if we end up at that Arsenal Search and Destroy either, but if you want to win a tournament, you got to have to do some incredible things. So eUnited, they're going to be fighting as much as they can, and 100 Thieves, they just want to, well, stay on cruise control.
Well, as it stands, first game here, day 2, CWL London. It's 100 Thieves, 2-0 up against eUnited. We'll be back after this with game 3.
The Call of Duty World League is brought to you by Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, the official beverage of the CWL. Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the CWL. And TCL, America's fastest growing TV brand.
100 Thieves with the advantage here in our first game, day 2. CWL London 2-0 up against eUnited. We obviously saw a very close game number 1. Game number 2, round 10. It's been back and forth, gents. By no means has this been a blowout for 100 Thieves, but yet you still feel confident that they're going to take that 3-0.
They're just making the bigger plays.
Yeah.
Like when all things are equal, both teams have been competitive, but the guys that have made the bigger plays have consistently been on 100 Thieves' side. Even when they're team killing, they're able to pick it up, and Octane pops a 4-piece with the Tempest, whatever it's going to be, despite the fact that they're throwing away round advantages or man advantages in certain rounds because they keep getting them. They just constantly, they were finding their place on top, and now you go into Gridlock, which at the start of the year, Kenny said was their best game mode. They were the best control team in the world, and people were laughing at him after Vegas because the placings weren't great, but the record was still good, and they have not slowed down. 100 Thieves trying to establish themselves as the best respawn team on top of the best team.
Well, this is where a reverse sweep would start, and we'd stay in Gridlock before we head over to that Game 5 Search and Destroy. One map at a time, and again, you heard, I'm gonna kind of keep mentioning it, that video to start the day, Clay and Sim. You don't expect Clay to necessarily tell players what to do, but it's these moments, down 2-0 in a series, on main stage to start off day 2. Clay's been in these moments. He's come out on top on these moments, and that's where you want that veteran leadership to kick in, keeping his fellow teammates cool, calm, and collected to try and make this comeback.
He's going to need all the teammates supporting Cass to help him out if they want to have a chance at being able to win this game, because again, it has just been dominating performances from Octane for, I don't know, 2-3 months now, like literally consistently as hell.
He's just so good,
and he's been so good that Slasher and Priesta, who have also been incredible, are almost like playing second fiddle. The 100 Thieves lineup, this is the skill level we expected them to be at, and they are going to be right off the rip. If Beezy don't want to flank, well, no one to kill for him. If his ARs do the job, he's trying to find his way through and eventually able to take down Slasher. That is a B push that is completely stuffed. It is an amazing job by United.
Man, that's a fantastic start. The problem is, of course, a big presence now for 100 Thieves over towards the other side. And, well, you managed to give yourself a little bit of a life count, +3 for eUnited. You don't concede any ticks over towards a B. More than likely, you will concede the full A cap here, but at least you walk away with some kind of an advantage.
Well, now we're going for United potentially trying to just trap their opponents in, but 100 Thieves does not feel like being trapped. Enable able to pick up Sin, makes the clearance on one end, and well, you got a player trying to prank, but Kenny or Octane or someone's gonna hunt him down, and looks like 100 Thieves, they are happy to play for map control. They left one guy on the point, so everyone else can go try to spawn kill. Well, Priesta eventually is gonna fall, and Abel behind the enemy lines gets the beat down for the next 150 off the streaks.
He's playing significantly better today, that's for sure. A 5-on-1 start for Enable. A couple of teammates do go down, but he should be able to find one more. 50 points all he needs. It would have been great if the point hadn't been capped. He could have just hopped back and secured those streaks. For now, though, just gonna play his life. Stay highlighted on that mini-map. May actually have a fight relatively soon here. Abel playing for those streaks.
And he's got the timing perfect. As soon as his teammates start making any noise, that's when, well, eUnited, they just forced to go to the point. He's gonna shoot players in the back. There's the lightning. The Hellstorm might shortly follow. Comes in with the help of Priest, and more importantly, well, they should be good to get the B point. One tick is already through. They got 5 bodies in the hill. eUnited has some blood, and there is not enough time. That is perfectly executed from 100 Thieves. Maybe not off the rip, but after that, it was flawless because you kill Enable once, then he goes on an 8 spree. He got the score streaks that changed the game in map number 2, and already in the first round, he's got some more in the back pocket.
He's just going to put it down to jet lag. That's what it was yesterday. This is Enable playing some fantastic Call of Duty. As you mentioned, streaks in map number 2. Played well, made a game-saving play at the end of map number 1. If you remember, the contestant came through from Rock, and already round 1, full streaks. A great performance to start Saturday from that man. But what more have you got to show? The break obviously wasn't all that great. United were able to hold off, but now all of a sudden, almost seems like the fate of the 3-0 here is almost coming into fruition and able to kickstart off this round. Kenny will find one, and Abel will drop. United desperately trying to fight for Abel.
Well, A lot of kills going their way. They actually do get clearance on the point. Persini going to be the first one now, but a little bit trapped in. You got to keep in mind Slasher is going on the full flank, so Hunter Thieves trying to play with lives, but Arseny's mid-map is able to pick up 2, and that's the life advantage you want to have as well as capping the point.
You have a lot of time if you're United to try and attack that B zone. A should come through. We heard United come a little bit earlier on in the series. Seems like a good time now to go with 100.
One was still A, one was still A.
I have the whole cross.
But then,
Getting top red.
Yo, he's back there.
One's top red.
Simp is back. Yo, one's back red right now, one's blue truck.
Bottom right,
Two blue
Alex.
truck, two blue truck.
Look at yellow.
I have a whole lot of
I have 4 boys. One's top red. Top red.
top red.
Yeah.
Back alley, busy. One shot, dead.
Nice.
Could be yellow, could be yellow.
Oh shit. Yo,
I'm looking bottom.
yellow.
Two yellow, two
Two
yellow.
yellow. Sim's weak. Sim's weak.
Oh, red.
One shot yellow, one shot yellow.
Simp and yellow. There's no Sim. Sim.
Another one.
I spot yellow.
One shot, top one shot.
I got sun.
And one guy's hole in the wall.
On the red, a BZ. He's gonna hit me. A BZ, 2 top broken, or 2 top red. Nice.
Could be back left. Could be back left.
Yeah.
He's there, he's there.
Bottom right, bottom sim.
I have 100 pass right now. That could be back left though.
Yeah, just hold mail.
I'm playing outside yellow, guys.
I'm top right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to hold it back up.
100 pass. Oh, you got me.
On the pass, then.
Nice. I don't have both.
That's not top.
No,
There's two in red on me. I'm getting up
I'm
there.
mid mail.
Let's top right. Clay, one shot. Nice.
There's no one
I
here.
got back alley, dead. Top, busy, dead.
There's no one in red, I think.
Yeah, it was
On the
Sim, it was
pass,
Sim.
pass.
It's not a press.
He didn't hit it. Top highway. He went top highway.
Yo, I'm all the way back. That's
I
not
can
red.
get your yellows there.
Yeah, pick up back
I'm
left.
about to go left. I'm about to go blue truck.
It could be red. I'm looking blue truck right now.
I'm in red.
I'm going on the left. I think.
Yeah, they're back left 100%.
Yo, top mid, Clay, hold it. Top mid, Clay, hold
Hold
it.
in or spawn.
One shot, I'm in. Nice.
Yeah,
I spawn behind him, guys.
Hold on. Please now.
Yeah, one's 18, 218.
Oh, behind us.
Yo, it's
Yo,
218,
one
guys.
hit mail, one hit.
It's 218, guys.
No 18, two of them.
A bit of streak or no?
Yeah, you might have to.
In addition to Enable streaks, Prieston now with a streak of his own. Enable's going to invest the first of the round. The Hellstorm slowly but surely makes its way over towards B, does connect with Prestini. Is that now the opening 100 Thieves need? Zone currently contested, a tick and a half is already through. United, though, still in the zone.
Sim just destroying right there with the ICR, but he's got to wait for the supporting cast to come help him out. Able to stay alive a little bit, and of course, 75 off the streaks. He just needs a kill to get some love. And man might come in, 2 health in a dream. Still the contest is here. He's got players up front, has an ICR assault, able to get the lightning just barely, but while that is happening, it is a 6B, make it 3 in favor of 100 Thieves.
The only real benefit from that entire engagement was the fact that Simp did actually get himself a lightning. He is off free spawn. Could be a little crazy to invest it. You never know. Some crazier things. Kenny shuts down Simp. Arcees goes down. This round is over. 100 Thieves, 2-0 up.
And I'll be honest, I think you really do have to use Lightning Strike. Like, as impossible as a 3v6 seems, even though the Lightning Strike, maybe it's only going to kill 1 because they're in control, like, you're basically just saying, we'll go down 2-0. You flood the hill like that with Sogs, you have someone fly across, you're hoping for some spectacular play, but 100 Thieves not going to make mistakes in control, not at this tournament, not when they're at this level. And to find yourselves down 2-0 in the series, in this map, man, it just feels like 100 Thieves has been dominating.
Yeah, it's weird. The games were close, but to your point, here in this game 3, not so close. 2-0 for 100 Thieves, couple of streaks still available. Enable with a lightning, Prieston with a lightning, Simp also with a lightning there for 100 Thieves, but this already very difficult task just got even harder. Now you're looking at the ultimate reverse sweep. 2-0 down to control, trying to stay alive, and once again, it's 100 Thieves trying to push B.
You got a Tempest if you want it, but Pristini on the flank is able to find 2. A couple good flanks over towards this B point for eUnited has been their savior. But of course, you got a flank on one end as well, and Kenny, well, picks up the first guy, able to stay alive for the second. Just needs a little bit of ammo in whichever gun he's having. And of course, eUnited able to get a nice little stretch of kills, able to get a couple. But it looks like over towards this A point, 100 Thieves, of course, as you know by A. Eventually, it should be capped.
It's almost an identical strat to what they did in round number 1. They push over towards B, they don't really have much success, then they fly over towards A, and United still unable to put a stop to it as Kenny just flies out. And the man is snapping early on here, day 2. A should be good. And at this point, if you're 100 Thieves, I mean, what, you have a Tempest for Octane, Priest is getting close to a Grav Slam, Slasher has a War Machine, and you have 2 streaks. You just put this game to bed, right here.
Maybe Pristini and Abizi getting a little bit close to their specialist as well, but it's just going to be so tough because, of course, United's thinking we want to save these if we can. Well, 100 Thieves can just completely force their hand. Priest picking up some more kills. He's got his specialist. Octane's got the 2 with the ICR. You can get over towards post. The stun might slow him down a little bit, but Octane's here, able to pick up 2 kills like it's nothing, and he stays alive. His teammates are there near B, trying to help him out. Clayster doing what he can. You're thinking about wanting to use the streaks, but you might not even need them. 100 Thieves, 3 bodies in the hill.
Yeah, now the War Machine is out. Grab Slam is going to have to be used by a Bees. He connects with 2. Is it going to be enough, though? There's still 100 Thieves presence now. Octane, his turn to pull out the specialist streak invested from Sip. He also wins a fight against Kenny. Enable still in the zone, though, contesting, buying time for his teammates. The life count 10-9, still unbelievably close considering the investment we've seen so far, but the one thing that hasn't been invested just yet, Priestess Grab Slam and his Lightning Strike if he wants to maybe go for it. He pinged it earlier on in the round. Still have Enable with his. Maybe that's what 100 Thieves are waiting for. The perfect opportunity. You can see Kenny on the flank. Is it going to be the opening by Priest? Well, thought about grappling. May not even necessarily need to do so. There's the first Lightning Strike. Grab used. 3 players dead. This an almost impossible task as all 5 eUnited players drop. Kenny with the perfectly timed pinch. Now Priest can lightning off spawn. eUnited with just 4 lives left. Are they even going to get close to the hill? I don't think they're going to be able to touch it. 100 Thieves assert their dominance here in London. 3-0 against eUnited.
And Ben, this 100 Thieves team, we talked about their map record since they picked up Priesta. It is insane, but what's even crazier is just at events, they only have 1 loss. They are 8-1, 9-1, something along those lines. Their only loss came yesterday to Optic Gaming, and I guarantee you they will be searching for revenge because they look like, well, probably the best respawn team in the world, almost undoubtedly so, and we saw what they did in the map number 2. Their search and destroy is incredible at that.
And let me tell you, when you have Enable playing like that,
that MVP series, honestly, it was up there.
It's so easy. It's so easy. He gets a big game-saving play at the end of game 1. Streaks, which have a massive effect on the outcome of game 2. Streaks in round number 1 of the control and then played consistently from there. A wonderful series from him after almost a mean performance late last night. Makes up for it here day 1.
And it's not even like they're outskilling their opponents. Like that play they set up at the end was a thing of beauty. You call in the Lightning Strike to force everybody inside. It doesn't matter if it's only one guy Priest is going to get with the Gravity Slam because he gets the important kill clearing it out. You got all your ARs over top, and then Kenny times the flank perfectly. And they set that up for, what, 15, 20 seconds, executed perfectly. So it's not just we're going to run you over with skill. They are doing the little things correctly. And when you have an incredibly talented team doing the little things right, again, forced to be reckoned with.
Yeah, that's the outcome. And it's the kind of outcome we expected to see from 100 Thieves throughout the entire London event, right? I think many people had them, top 3 kind of caliber. And that's exactly why. Of course, we're waiting confirmation on who exactly they will have to play. I believe it's the winner of the Gen G UIU series. So, I mean, if you're a betting man after pool play, you'd probably say Gen G. But before we kind of hypothesize about that, we'll take a look at our Scuff Gaming play of the game from that last series. It was a phenomenal one from 100 Thieves. I mean, the control, it was just so simple. And you see the things they're able to do. The perfectly timed is Octane that picks up a couple kills. This second one, bang, opens up the hill completely.
And it just makes it look easy. Like how many, I was going to say how many ICR players can do things like that. Pretty much the only one.
Yes.
At this level, this consistently, Octane has just completely separated themselves, and it's just incredible to watch because, again, it's all the Maddox players that get the love, but this is one of those only teams where someone else kind of kicks that up a notch and shines just a little bit brighter.
And, of course, it's worth mentioning for eUnited, their tournament is by no means over. They now fall down into the losers bracket where, admittedly, they're going to have a lot of games to play, Chance. A lot of games indeed. But they're a team who can definitely try and make a little bit of a comeback here in London. But congratulations once again, 100 Thieves, a 3-0 victory to start off day 2. We can send it out to Jess on the main stage with the PlayStation Instant Reaction.
Thank you, Ben. Talk to me about that hard point. The score was so back and forth. How did you manage to clutch that?
I mean, I think we were in control the whole time. Like, we had the game in the bag pretty much, and a couple misplays, like a 2-piece grab slam on our teammates, and some poor streak usage kind of made the game a little bit closer than it should have been. So, I mean, we just made sure to clutch up in the end.
100 Thieves are playing so well. It's clear you've improved. What areas have you really noticed that improvement in?
Mainly just being on the same page as a team. I feel like we have the best idea how to play the game right now. It's just making sure everyone in the team is thinking the same thing in the moment in the game, so there's no mistakes, basically.
So overall, how are you feeling about where you're at as far as your team and how you guys have been performing this event?
I'm feeling really good. I feel like if we keep playing how we just did right there, we can easily walk away with a chip.
All right, thank you so much. This has been your PlayStation Instant Reaction. For now, back on over to Katie at the desk.
Thank you so much, Jess. There you had it, starting on an Alpha, 100 Thieves, 3-0ing eUnited. And, I mean, again, they looked hot yesterday, guys. Hot now, and eUnited kind of starting slow once again.
Oh yeah, I said it before the series. I thought the first map, they were able to bring it back so close. We saw Priesta.
241, I believe.
Yeah, we saw Priesta. Unfortunately, he was able to pick up like a 2-piece team kill, which like put them in a hole, basically gave eUnited a chance to come back. But once they secured that map and secured the S&D, I knew it was going to be a 3-0.
Yeah, on that first map, right, like eUnited was playing catch-up the entire time, and, you know, when they got that one opportunity to get back in the game, they did, but at the very end, we saw 100 Thieves just, you know, close that game out and end up clutching up and using that momentum throughout the rest of the series.
They were in really good position on the map. I believe it was Slasher jumped up from pool and made a good decision to flank and got a huge 2-piece. Yeah. That got them back in the hill. United ended up breaking back in, but then Enable got a huge 2-piece to end up to get control of that, but they had control of top stairs area, top open and top close, and they just closed out the game.
Well, especially on S&D, we don't usually, Nameless, see Enable necessarily making such a statement as he did. And he very much like,
well,
he came back and he said, hello, I'm here.
Enable's a championship player. Like, he's an amazing player. And, you know, sometimes in Search and Destroy, he isn't the best, but he does make some good plays at times in that game. And overall, he's got great players around him. So obviously he's going to learn at some point what he needs to do in Search. But, you know, 100 Thieves, they're just in a great spot right now. Like, they're firing on all cylinders. They're shooting very well. And in that listen, we saw the teamwork was on point. Like, they just look great.
Well, and I suppose on the side of eUnited, here's a celebration right after, of course, on your screen. 100 Thieves did win, so congratulations to them starting out their day very strong. But I want to touch again on the side of eUnited. You still did have players like Arcity and Sim, Pac-Man, that seemed like they were still making big plays for their teams.
Yeah, I mean, the first two maps at least were close. Like they kept the teams in the game. That's what you expect of a team from that caliber. But those guys are not happy keeping a close game. They expect to win. They want to win championships, and they still are missing something to push them over that edge. Now, that's credit to 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves seems to be extremely fundamentally strong at this point, and they're shooting really well. So if they're shooting really well and they're not making a lot of mistakes as a team, it's going to take that extra push from those guys on their opponents to beat them. Like we saw yesterday from Karma. He just had that little bit extra yesterday to beat 100 Thieves, and nobody today from United had that.
That's what it takes to win a championship, right? Like, you have to have the fundamentals, but then you also have to be shooting really straight as well, and your teamwork has to be there. So, like, once you have that down and you have that day where you're just shooting amazing, you put yourself in that good position, that's how you win a tournament. You know, some of these teams, like Optic Gaming, they play fundamentally well, but sometimes maybe they aren't shooting the best. So it just depends on who shows up at the time.
All right.